Hello, friends. How are you? I am so excited for this live today. If you are feeling frustrated with getting started with Facebook ads, you're not sure where to start, you're like, power editor, ads manager, what are you talking about? Let's dive in today, and I'm so excited. My name is Vanessa Wild. I am a business strategy coach for mompreneurs, and I help mompreneurs take their business from surviving to thriving and just strategize and make sure everything that they're doing is going to get them closer to their goals. So if they're stuck, we push them forward. If they need clarity, we give them clarity. So whatever it is they need, we do together. So today we are talking about Facebook ads. So if you have friends that you've talked to and they're like, Facebook ads make me crazy, make sure you share with them. Hello to my friends hopping on. Share this video with them because there's going to be a lot of goodies in this video that you're going to take away. And I'm noticing I have makeup this eye. There we go. Hot mess over here, Mom. Alrighty, friends. All right. So before we start, I want to make sure in the info above, you have a link for you of a freebie with other strategies to find clients. So Facebook ads is not the only way to find clients. There are other ways to do that, and it depends on what you enjoy, what your strengths are, and if you want to do multiple ways as well. And maybe you don't want to put the money in. So check that out. Make sure you, after we get off, you click on that link and get that freebie. The other thing is I put the link to our free community. So if you are a mompreneur, it's a go-getter, and you want to make a difference with your business, jump in that community. I do lots of trainings, lots of amazing stuff. So hop in that group and be part of the amazing group of other mompreneurs and some go-getters. So let's dive in. Give me some hearts and love so I know that you're here. I want to see that I have some friends in here that could definitely benefit from this. Alrighty. So the very first thing, and say hi. I want to see you. I'm trying to see if I can see comments on here. I'm on a new live video thing. Hey, Lizette, it showed up for me. Okay, perfect. It's nice to see that this is working how I wanted. All right, so the very first thing I want to talk about was why Facebook ads. I want to make sure you're very clear on the point of Facebook ads, how they can benefit you, but be very clear beforehand that you don't have to do Facebook ads, but they are a strategy you can use to find clients. Especially with our busy schedule as mompreneurs, we're trying to build our business, work with our clients, learn how to build our business, be a mom. There's so many things that it's going to make it I can hear the thunder. We're having a bad thunderstorm. Okay. That's going to make it really hard to balance everything. So the beautiful thing with Facebook ads is that you're able to have Facebook find clients and attract clients to you without you constantly having to go hunt out a client. So that's a beautiful thing with it. And it's going to save you a ton of time. You also are going to be very targeted and be able to find your ideal client. So you can target exactly who you want to reach out to, who you want to attract to your business. And you can get so narrow with that you're going to be able to attract your ideal client right to you. So it's not a hunting game for you. They're going to see what you have to offer, and they're going to be able to come to you, and you're able to attract that ideal person that you do want to work with. So before you run ads, I really want to make sure you are very clear on your ideal client. If you are not very clear on your ideal client, don't jump into Facebook ads yet, because you're going to waste a lot of money. So you need to be clear on exactly who you want to serve. And I do have at my website, vanessawildcoaching.com, on the shop tab, I do have a guidebook that you can grab. And in that, it gets very, very clear on your ideal client, how you can serve them, what they need from you. It gets super clear so that you have a lot of clarity. Yes. So knowing that ideal client is going to be so important. So making sure that you're very clear, because I have myself wasted money on Facebook ads and then but before I was even clear on my ideal client, and it makes it so hard because you're trying to reach like someone out there, but you're not targeting that person that is supposed to be hearing that. You do need that, girl. You need to snag that, girl. So the other thing is that you need to be knowing what they need from you, which I also, in that ideal client guidebook, it helps a lot with that. So you're able to find out what they need from you. The other thing, figuring out what they need from you, is you need to ask your ideal client. So put it out there in groups that your ideal client hangs out in, on your Facebook page. You can call out your ideal client. And if you have a group already for your ideal client, you can message some of your friends that you're like, oh my gosh, that person is totally my ideal client. I would love to work with them. Or you've already worked with them in the past, or you're currently working with them. Ask them questions and figure out like, what are some of those struggles that they have, the problems that they have to do with your business that you can solve, and really dive deep into that. Because if you jump into Facebook ads and you don't really know what they need from you, then your ads are going to flop and you're going to be frustrated that it's not making traction. So really understanding what they need to hear from you, what they need to get from you, and the solution that you need to solve for them. The other thing before you even run your ad is you need to decide why you want to run your ad. There are so many things with Facebook ads, so many types of Facebook ads you can put out there. There's not just one type of Facebook ad. And one of the most common ones that before I learned really a lot about Facebook ads, a lot of people do engagement, and there is a much better way. If that's your goal, engagement, then perfect. But there is a better way, in my opinion, depending on what your result is. What do you want from your Facebook ad? What do you want to achieve from it? So for example, if you want to gain leads, then you need to do a conversion ad. If you want to get people on your list, you need to convert them. So put that conversion ad out there. If you want to get some just visibility, then do a brand awareness ad. If you just want people to see what you have to offer, put a brand awareness ad out there. If you want page likes, you need to do an ad for page likes. If you want someone to read your blog post, you need to do a traffic ad. So there's so many, and right now you're probably like, woo, Vanessa, that's okay. That's one of the things I do work with my one-on-one clients is we figure out what type of ad that you need, and then we can go from there. But you need to be clear before you even jump on into your ads manager. Before you jump into that, you need to be very, very clear on what your end result is. If you are putting money into this, you need to make sure you know what type of ad you want to run and what type of results you have. I typically would not recommend boosting posts. They don't do as well. So, and I'll kind of talk about where I would suggest you go today. So I'll touch on that. And yeah, so I personally would not suggest boosting posts. So let's talk about conversions. One of my favorite ads is conversions. Conversions is getting someone to go from put their email into some type of opt-in for a freebie that to get their email address, and they're going to get something free from you, some type of thing that's of deep value that they're like, I need this. So so with the conversion, it needs to be, make sure that freebie is super compelling. Like they need to be wanting it because they're going to be putting in their email address. And for some, that's like a big step. So it needs to be compelling enough, and they need to be feeling that. This is why you need to know what solution they need you to solve. They need to be feeling it so much that they will feel compelled to put their email in so they can get that freebie from you. So you need to get a strong freebie, and one of the things that I am a firm believer in is that if you deliver and you give value, they're going to be so excited for what else you have to offer. So if you make this freebie and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I gave them too much information, that's like the perfect freebie. So making sure that you do something just amazing for them and they will want it. But you have to remember, and we will get to that making sure you speak in your ad about it the right way that will help them convert. With that conversion, you need to, like I talked about, it needs to be talking about solving the problem that the the person that your ideal client is needs. So you need to be making sure that freebie solves that problem for them. And then one thing that I do recommend when you have when you want someone to convert onto onto your list through an opt-in, making sure you test out your freebie before you even pay for an ad. So if you make this freebie and you think making sure you do the steps beforehand, finding out that it is a solution they need. But if you put out this freebie and you're so excited and your Facebook ad isn't converting, and then all of a sudden you test it with the people that you think would want it, and they don't even want it, then you wasted money, right? So if you put your freebie out there and you test it on the people that you know could be your ideal client, so in groups that allow you to do that on your Facebook page, in a group that you've already created, and if you see that people are snagging that and wanting that, then you know you've got a good freebie. So make sure that you test it out so you're not putting money into a conversion to get them onto your list when people don't really want what you have to offer. So making sure to test that out beforehand. And I'm blunt, sorry. The other thing, making sure, and I touched on this, that I was going to bring this up. Make sure your copy is strong. So what is copy? It is what you write on your ad. So that's stopping. So when someone's scrolling, what makes them read that ad? So something's going to stop them. So that copy needs to be bold. It needs to be good. It needs to grab them in. You need to be using the language that your client needs from you. You need to be speaking in their language. And that first sentence needs to be so bold that they want to stop. You can capitalize it if you want. You can put like stars around it, whatever you want. But it needs to be the statement or question or something that just makes them go, whoa, what is this? So you really want to take time to get that bold statement at the beginning. And then making sure that when you're doing your copy, you touch on that pain point and how your freebie is going to help solve that for them. You want to make sure that they know what your freebie is going to do for them to help solve whatever type of problem that they have or struggle that they have, that you're able to help. The other thing that's super important is sometimes short copy does well, which is just not too much writing. Sometimes long copy does well. So the thing that I always suggest is to make sure you test it out, making sure that you see which one's going to resonate more with your audience. And it could vary. Like one time your audience may do really well with short copy, and then another ad, it may do better with long. So you want to make sure you are testing it out. And I go through how to test and everything with my one-on-one clients. The other thing, and I also help them with the copy, give them suggestions to word it so it's compelling. It draws your ideal client in. The other thing that most of us is that first stop before even the writing, that first stop is your photo. Your photo needs to be scroll stopping too. So one of the things that I do suggest is that your photo needs to stand out from the rest of Facebook. Think of Facebook. It's kind of like that white, the blues. It's not very bright. It's not very much, the colors are not very bold. So make sure your photo is bold, bright, and it stands out. So when they're scrolling, it's going to stand out. Whether it's the full photo, whether it's like a mug in the photo is really bright and stands out, whatever it is, but it needs to contrast from the rest of Facebook. You need to make sure that it really stands out. The other thing is, if you have not tried Canva, I would look at canva.com. That's where I do a lot of my images. And they actually have a template for a Facebook ad, so you can use that template to help you. And if you are loving this, feel free to share, feel free to give hearts. If you have questions along the way, feel free to ask. I love to answer any questions that you have. And if you are hopping on, say hi. And then the other thing, you can design using canva.com, or you can get a stock photo. You can get stock photos. Yeah, Canva's amazing. It's that's my go-to all the time. So you can use stock photos, and there's actually in Canva, you can get like $1 stock photo if you really like it. Or there's free stock photo websites, which I'm obsessed with. So there's a lot of free ones out there. Or on Facebook ads, they actually have a whole bunch of stock photos you can use yourself. So you can look at what stock photos they have to offer and use that with your ad. So you don't have to spend money on a stock photo, and you don't always have to use a stock photo. The biggest thing for you is you need to, again, test. What will your audience resonate with? Sometimes some of my ads, they resonate with a picture of me, and I've been, one of my ads that I'm running right now, I'm noticing they're resonating with a stock photo. And that's what my audience is like, ooh, that catches my attention. I really like that. So you need to be testing out and seeing which one is resonating more with your audience, is making them scroll stop and making them want to join your list. So setting up the ad, like this is the part where everyone's like, okay, so I've gotten to this point. How the heck do I set up my ad? And I go through this so, like we share screens and everything with my one-on-one clients. So you'll see the step-by-step on exactly how to do it, but I will speak you through it right now. One thing that, and I know, Liz, that you were talking about this at the beginning about boosting posts. I don't recommend boosting a post. What I do highly recommend is using Power Editor. And Power Editor is a little more complicated though. So if you are just starting out, you don't know it too well, my other suggestion would be to use Ads Manager. Ads Manager is a more user-friendly and is a lot easier when you're starting out to use. It takes you step by step a lot better. Power Editor can get confusing when you first start, but I typically find it does better. But you can start with Ads Manager, and if you're a one-on-one client of mine, I will totally take you through the Power Editor, and we can go through it because it's scary, but it's totally fine. But yeah, so if you're just starting out, use the Ads Manager because that's going to be a lot easier for you, and it will break it down. If you are on right now, tell me if you've used Ads Manager before, if you've ran an ad before, and if you have not ran an ad before, I'd love to hear kind of where you're at too, if you've ever attempted to set one up. So make sure before you start your traffic ad, no, these words may be like, Vanessa, or the conversion ad. And we talked about the conversion ad. The conversion ad is getting onto your list for a freebie. The traffic ad is just taking them to some type of website. So it could be a blog post that you had. Make sure before you do that, you've set up something called a pixel. A pixel is something that tracks when someone lands onto that page. So you're going to get it from Facebook. In the same area where you go into your ads, there's something called pixels, and you'll get that and put it onto the page that, that you want them to go to. So like for the conversion, you'll want to put it on the thank you page saying, hey, they arrived at the thank you page. That means that they actually joined my list. If you are wanting them to get to a blog post, you want to make sure it's on your website. So this can get complicated. So that's why I like to share my screen when I go through it. Yes, you've used Ads Manager and Power Editor can be so confusing. So that's why I would strongly recommend Ads Manager unless someone has walked you through it, because Power Editor gets confusing. But I do recommend that as out of anything else, using that one. So make sure you install that pixel, which I definitely help walk my one-on-one clients through. If you don't install that pixel, first off, they won't let you set up that ad. They'll be like, where's your pixel? But it's also pointless because that ad, that traffic or conversion is to get them to a certain point. So if you haven't said, hey, Facebook, my pixel's on this page and that's where I want them to get to, and when they get there, you're getting notified that they've actually converted or they've actually landed on that page with that traffic ad. If you haven't put that there, then they can't be notified. The other beautiful thing with Facebook, and it makes it crazy, is that they track who has been on those type of things. So then you can retarget those people that have visited your page. So then they've already been aware of your brand, they've already been aware of you, so you can say, hey, like, you get in their face again and let them know about you. But that can get confusing too. So we won't get into that today. So make sure, like, so you're going through the steps, the very first step is to figure out what type of ad you want to do. Then the next step is to actually target your ideal client. So it's going to ask you questions about gender, age, location, their interests. So one of my huge recommendations with gender, you know what gender you want to target. You can do both, or you can do male or female. I typically do female because that's who I work with. And then with age range, I highly recommend you don't do anything bigger than 20 years. Once it gets past that, you're typically expanding way past your ideal client. So at least 20 years or smaller, depending on exactly who you want to target. Some people are going to get more narrow, but making sure that it's no more than a 20-year age range. And then with interest, I know this can also be a confusing aspect as well with your interests. So one of the things that is great to do is think of like a person or a organization that is related to your business. So someone that has a lot of followers, that's highly respected, and you can go to Google if you need to, and that can be like your main interest. And then from that interest, as long as you have enough people from this, you may need one to three, but from that interest or page or committee or whatever it is that you pick, then you can get deeper and focus in on your ideal client. So for example, I'll give you an example with me. So I would pick like a business coach that's really big. From there, I would then pick like mom-related topics. So like Babies R Us or Carter's or Honest Company, because I'm focused on moms. So then it narrows that down to that. So we have the business aspect, and then we have the mother aspect, because those are the two things that are important. So that's how I would help you with that. We would look all at that with the one-on-one clients. One thing that is definitely key, and you've heard me say this twice already, test, test, test. So running 5 to 10 Facebook ads with interests of different interests to see which one is going to do best. And then keep 2 to 3 or more, depending on your cost level, that are doing really well. Keep those running so that you can really target the person that you need, and you're making the most of your money. So the ones that are really resonating, the ones that are actually hitting your ideal client and doing well, those are the ones you want to keep running. But the rest that aren't really converting, or they're really having high cost conversions, you're like, turn those ones off, and those are done. So, we made it through. And there's so much more with Facebook ads. And maybe your mind is blown right now and you're like, Vanessa, there's a lot of words I didn't get, and that's okay. It is a process, and I am constantly learning myself. I'm not a Facebook expert yet. I am constantly learning. I'm constantly growing, and I'm testing a lot myself so that I can better help my clients, because I want to see them succeed with Facebook ads. And I want to see their success. And I don't ever rush one of my clients into Facebook ads until I know that they have that firm foundation, that they have their ideal client, that they really know what they want to do, and they gain that clarity. Because if we rush into Facebook ads before we have that clarity and that foundation, it's not going to do well, and you're going to feel like you wasted money, which you probably would have wasted money. So it's not worth it. And with that, I wanted to talk to you about my one-on-one coaching program. I am actually, crazy enough, my coach was like, Vanessa, your prices need to be raised. You know so much. You need to raise those prices. So on Monday, my prices are actually raising for my one-on-one coaching. And right now I have one spot left for someone to snag the price that it's currently at. So I wanted to put that invite out to you if you are interested in really getting a coaching experience that is going to be catered to your business, that is going to help you gain clarity, that is going to help you really know who your ideal client is, what you want to do with your business. We're going to really dig in. We can get into the Facebook ads when we know you're ready. Like I said, I don't rush in, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I had one of my clients that are like, okay, what about Facebook ads? I'm like, no, not yet. We will get there, but I want you to do other things before we jump into that, because I want to make sure you understand who you want to serve. So I will be that honest coach. I won't make you waste your money. I understand I am a penny pincher, so I understand penny pinching. So a lot of the stuff that I have you do is good, a low price, or it's free. So I want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth with everything we do. I want to make sure you have complete clarity with who you want to serve, what type of business you want, because some of my clients come and they're like, well, I think I want to do this. And once we talk, we expand even more with it, or we narrow more, and hey, this is really what you wanted to do all along. So we really get clear with that and make sure you understand it. And I constantly checking in. I had a client where some things were going on around her, and we were like talking about it. Okay, what can we do? And we strategize it. Yes, let's talk with that. And we strategize with it and make sure that we really get clear on what's going on around you that's impacting your business and impacting the why it's not going as smoothly right now. And we think of like, hey, some of the things like suggestions that I'll tell you right now, like maybe some oils, or maybe you need to do some yoga, or maybe we need to say, hey, let's get a babysitter. I need to go out for the day. So we strategize and figure out ways that will help you. But yes, so what I want you to do, if that is of interest, if you're like, Vanessa, I need you, or maybe right now you're like, in your stomach, this freaks me out. I would like to work with her one-on-one, but I'm freaking out right now because I am a penny pincher. Remember I talked about this. I'm a penny pincher too. Do it. Message me. Send me a message straight on here, and let's talk. Let's talk about working together before my prices go up, because my prices right now are incredible. But the price that I'm at is going to be an incredible deal too. But if you want it even cheaper, this is the time to jump in. So I will say bye-bye. Have an amazing, amazing weekend, and spend some time with that family. Unplug for a little bit this weekend. I know you've been working hard all week, Mama, and you've been pushing for those goals. We're at the start of September. Take a breather, set your goals for the month, and then hit it on Monday. Have a good weekend, and we will talk later. Bye.